December 28th, 2014, from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It was the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants in this NFC East Division rivalry matchup on the final week of the season. The Giants got the ball first. They had it on their own 20 after the opening kickoff. They were faced with a 3rd and 1 from the 29. Williams then ran 9 yards for the first down to the 38. And then Eli Manning hit Randall for a 43-yard reception that made it a first down in the red zone at the Philadelphia 19. Manning then dropped back and hit Ruben Randall again, this time for an 18-yard reception, made a 1st and goal on the 1. They then gave it to Williams. He punched it in from a yard out, and it was now New York 7, Philadelphia 0, as the Giants put the first points on the scoreboard. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff with a little over 12 minutes still left in the first. And on first down, Sanchez went to Zach Ertz. He picked up 18 yards in the first down at the Philadelphia 38. They then got a false start penalty, and on 1st and 15 from the 33, LaShawn Shady McCoy ran at 23 yards for the first down into New York territory at the 44. Sanchez then dropped back and hits Jordan Matthews for a 44-yard touchdown. It was a short pass. Matthews took it all the way to the end zone, and this game was now tied up at 7 apiece. So now the Giants would take over on their own 24 after the kickoff with a little less than 11 minutes still left in the first quarter. And they would end up punting after 6 plays from their own 38. So now after the punt, the Eagles would take over on their own 25 with about 8.5 minutes left on the clock in the first. They were faced with a 3rd and 7 from the 28. Sanchez then went to Zach Ertz, and the tight end picked up 10 yards in the first down at the 38. Sanchez then ran it himself 15 yards, and now it was first down in New York territory at the 47. Sanchez was then intercepted by Brown, but then a penalty, though, it was a pass interference call, would negate the interception. And so instead of being Giants ball, it would be a first down for the Eagles, 1st and goal on the 6. They then gave it to McCoy, picked up 5, but then got stopped for no gain, and now it was 3rd and goal from the 1. Out of the no-huddle and shotgun, Sanchez then went to the tight end, Brent Celek, for the 1-yard touchdown as the Eagles took the lead with the score Philadelphia 14, New York 7. So now the Giants would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff with about 6 minutes left in the first. They were faced with a 3rd and 5 from the 25. Eli Manning then went to Odell Beckham Jr. He picked up 22 yards in the first down at the 47. Then on 2nd and 2 from the Philly 45, they gave it to Rashad Jennings. He picked up 3 in the first down at the 42. Eli Manning then went back to Odell Beckham Jr. He picked up 17 yards in the first down at the Philadelphia 25. They weren't able to get another first down, though, and out would come Brown to attempt a 38-yard field goal. It was up. It was good. It was now a 4-point game with the score Philadelphia 14, New York 10. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff with about 2 minutes left in the first. They would end up bringing the ball to midfield, and they would end up punting it from their own 48 after 6 plays as the first quarter came to a close. So after 1 quarter of play, the score was Philadelphia 14, New York 10. So now to open up the second quarter, the Giants would have the ball on their own 10-yard line after the punt. They would go 3 and out and end up punting from their own 15. So now the Eagles got the ball back on their own 43, and they would go 3 and out and end up punting from the 50. So now the Giants had the ball on their own 11 with 13 minutes left before halftime, and they would go 3 and out for the second consecutive possession, and the third in the stretch between the two teams. So they punted from the 12-yard line after the 3 and out, and now the Eagles had the ball on their own 38 after the punt. Sanchez then dropped back to pass. He was intercepted by Harris. And so now the Giants would take over at midfield on the Philadelphia 49 after the interception with a little less than 12 minutes left before halftime. They're then faced with a 2nd and 10 from the 49. Eli Manning went to Odell Beckham Jr. He picked up 14 yards in the first down at the 35. Then on 2nd and 7 from the 32, Eli Manning went to Ruben Randall. He picked up 12 in the first down at the 20. Then on 2nd and 10 from the 20, Eli Manning went to Odell Beckham Jr. He picked up 12 yards in the first down. They made it 1st and goal from the 8. They weren't able to get into the end zone, and out would come Brown to attempt a 20-yard field goal. It was up. It was good. And it was now a 1-point game with the score Philadelphia 14, New York 13. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 24 after the kickoff with a little over 7 minutes left before halftime. And on 2nd and 7 from the 48 after having picked up a first down with a 25-yard pass from Sanchez to Macklin. And then 2 plays later, now 2nd and 7 from the 48, Sanchez was sacked by Celek. And so 2 plays after that, out would come the punting unit as they punted after 4 plays from the New York 45. So now the Giants would take over on their own 11 with 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Then on 3rd and 7 from the 14, Eli Manning hit Ruben Randall for a 36-yard reception that made a first down at the 50. Then on 2nd and 10 from the 50, Eli Manning went to Parker. He picked up 7 yards, plus a face mask against the Eagles, would now make it a first down on the 28 of Philadelphia for the G-men. Eli Manning then went to Randall. He picked up 25 yards and a first down that made it 1st and goal on the 3. But then a holding penalty on 2nd down would move him backwards, and a couple of incomplete passes would bring out the field goal unit. As Brown would now attempt a 36-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and the Giants now took the lead by 2 with the score: New York 16, Philadelphia 14. So now the Eagles would get the ball on their own 20 with about 2 minutes left before halftime. Sanchez then went to Zach Ertz for a 19-yard reception that brought the game to the 2-minute warning and made it a first down on the Philly 39 for the Eagles. And then a few plays later, it was 3rd and 16 from the 33 after Sanchez had been sacked by JPP on the following play, the play before. Sanchez then went to Macklin. He picked up 20 yards in the first down at the 47. Then on 2nd and 4 from the 41, Sanchez with the Sproles. He picked up 10 yards in the first down at the 31. Then on 2nd and 10 from the 31, Sanchez went to Cooper. He picked up 22 in a first down that made a 1st and goal on the 9. They weren't able to get a touchdown, though, and out would come Cody Parkey to attempt a 32-yard field goal on the final play of the first half. It was up, it was good, and the Eagles took back the lead by 1. So the score at halftime was Philadelphia 17, New York 16. So now to begin the second half, the Eagles would get the ball on their own 20 after the kickoff. They would go 3 and out on their first possession of the second half, and they ended up punting from their own 29. So now the Giants would take over on their own 28 with about 14 minutes left in the third. And they would end up going 3 and out, and they went to punt it from their own 27, and the punt was blocked and returned by Trey Burton, 27 yards for the touchdown. And it was now Philadelphia 24, New York 16. So the Eagles extended their lead to 8. And now after the kickoff, the Giants would get the ball on their own 19 with about 12.5 minutes left in the third. But after 5 plays, they would end up punting from their own 49. So now Philadelphia would take over on their own 15 after the punt with less than 9 minutes left in the third. But after 5 plays, they would punt from their own 34. So now New York would take over on their own 19 with about 7 minutes left in the third after the punt. They were faced with a 3rd and 2 from the 27. Eli Manning then hit Ruben Randall for a 24-yard reception, a first down in the Philadelphia 49-yard line. Manning then went to Odell Beckham Jr. He picked up 15 yards in the first down at the 34. Then Eli Manning went to Ruben Randall, and he threw a 34-yard touchdown, but an offensive holding penalty would bring the touchdown back and make it a 1st and 20 from the 44. They weren't able to recoup from that, and they would end up bringing Brown out to attempt a 53-yard field goal on 4th and 11 from the 35. It was up, and it was good. And it was now a 5-point game with the score Philadelphia 24, New York 19. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff with about 4.5 minutes left in the third. And LaShawn Shady McCoy ran at 11 yards for the first down at the 31. But then they ended up punting from the 37 after 4 plays. So now the Giants would take over on their own 20 after the punt with less than 3 minutes left in the third quarter. And after 6 plays, they would punt from the 39. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 35 with just seconds left in the third. Mark Sanchez then hit Jordan Matthews for a 7-yard reception as the third quarter came to a close. So after 3 quarters to play, the score was Philadelphia 24, New York 19. So now to begin the fourth quarter, the Eagles had the ball on their own 42, a 2nd and 3, and LaShawn Shady McCoy ran it 21 yards for the first down to the New York 37. Then Mark Sanchez hit McCoy for a 15-yard pass and was now a first down on the 22. Then on 2nd and 2 from the 14, Polk ran it 5 yards for the first down that made it 1st and goal on the 9. Then on 2nd and goal from the 9, Sanchez hit Jordan Matthews. He picked up 8 yards and it was now 3rd and goal from the 1. They gave it to Polk and he punched it in from a yard out for the touchdown. And it was now Philadelphia 31, New York 19. So now the Giants would get the ball on their own 20 with 13 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And on 3rd and 10 from the 20, Eli Manning hit Parker for a 13-yard reception, a first down that brought the ball to the New York 33. Then on 2nd and 6 from the 37, Eli Manning out of the no-huddle in the shotgun, dropped back. He hit Odell Beckham Jr. and he took it 63 yards for the touchdown. It was now a 5-point game once again with the score now Philadelphia 31, New York 26. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 26 after the kickoff with 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They would bring the ball into New York territory, and their drive would end up stalling though on the 21, and out would come Parkey to attempt a 39-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and they were now back up by 8 with the score Philadelphia 34, New York 26. So now with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter, New York would get the ball on their own 20, trailing by 8. And they would end up punting the ball, though, after 5 plays from the 39. So now the Eagles would take over on their own 16 after the punt with about 5 minutes left to play, but they went 3 and out as the Giants came up with a big stop and forced them to punt from their 25. So now New York would take over on their own 31. And then on 2nd and 6 from the 35, Eli Manning dropped back and he was intercepted by Nate Allen as Nate Allen comes up with a clutch interception. And now the Eagles had the ball in the red zone on the New York 18 with just under 3 minutes left to play. And they would just keep giving it to Polk to run out the clock. And they picked up a first down. They just kept running it. He picked up 7 yards on 2nd down, another 4 on 3rd and 3 from the 11. So now it was 1st and goal on the 7. And with no timeouts for the Giants, all that was left to do for the Eagles was for Mark Sanchez to take 3 knees in the victory formation, as the Eagles win this game with the final score Philadelphia 34, New York 26. And with the win, the Eagles are now 10-6 on the season. They're 4-4 on the road. The Giants fall to 6-10. They're 3-5 at home as they have a losing record in East Rutherford. And in this game, Mark Sanchez was 23 for 36 with 292 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He also had 22 rushing yards off of 7 carries. Eli Manning was 28 for 53 with 429 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The leading rusher in this game was LaShawn Shady McCoy. He had 17 carries for 99 yards. He also had 1 reception for 15 yards. And the leading rusher for the Giants was Williams. He had 15 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, and Jennings had 10 carries for 33 yards. Polk for the Eagles had 7 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown as well. And the leading receiver in this game was the rookie Odell Beckham Jr. He had 12 receptions for 185 yards and a touchdown. Ruben Randall had 6 receptions for 158 yards. And the leading receiver for the Eagles was Jordan Matthews. He had 8 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown. And Zach Ertz, the tight end, had 4 receptions for 56 yards. And Jeremy Maclin had 3 receptions for 49 yards. And the leading tackler in this game was Mike Harris of the Giants. He had 10 tackles. And the leading tackler for the Eagles was Malcolm Jenkins with 8 tackles. And the Eagles did not have any sacks. The Giants had 4 sacks. JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, had 2 sacks. Herzlich had 1 sack. And Kuhn had 1 sack. And for picks, Harris had 1 interception for the Giants. And Nate Allen had the lone interception for Philadelphia that sealed the victory. As the Eagles hang on to win this one with the final score Philadelphia 34, New York 26.